watching Horizon League basketball on ESPN+. Chris Collins along with Jim Brown welcoming you inside the Nutter Center on the campus of Wright State University. A matchup with Horizon League in the Sun Belt tonight. Marshall coming off a loss at UNC Wilmington on the road. They're 5-4. The Raiders coming off a big league win at Detroit Mercy on Saturday. Their mark is at 6-5. And Coach Brown, you talk about both of these teams. Wright State has not played a lot of home games, and for the Marshall Thundering Herd, they haven't been on the road a lot.
No, and it's good for them because they've had trouble winning on the road. I think they've lost like 11 straight road games dating back to last year. And Wright State's, you're right. This is only their, fourth home game. They've been on the road practically the entire season. So this is an opportunity for Wright State to get a win against a quality opponent.
All right, let's take a look at the team comparison statistically.
Well, the thing that really stands out is Wright State's field goal percentage. Almost 50% from the field. That's one of the best in the entire country. Three-point range is one of the best in the entire country. And in free throw percentage, they shoot the free throw really well. So you don't want to foul them. You don't want to give a three-point shot, and you better guard them inside the paint. The player to watch for Marshall is a 6'8" senior, Nate Martin. He's averaging 13 points a game, almost 8 rebounds. The thing that strikes me about him is he's shooting 66% from the field, which is a great percentage. It's got to be one of the best in the country. He's pretty much strictly in the paint. He's only taken 4 threes on the season, made 2, so he's going to be a handful for the Raiders inside. And for Wright State, it's Jack Doumbia. Jack has been very, very good here recently. He's a transfer from Norfolk State. You got to watch him off the bounce. He'll take you off the dribble, and he gets to the basket in no time at all. Very good player.
We've had the announcement of the starting lineups. Let's present them to you as we get set for basketball tonight. Wright State and Marshall. All right, Marshall head coach Cornelius Jackson will send these 5 out as his starters tonight. Dzane Mingo at guard, Ryan Nutter from nearby Dublin, Ohio at one guard position, along with Michael Dawson. Up front will be Abina and Achille Killen and Nate Martin, who Jim talked about in pregame. Now for Clint Sargent and his Wright State Raiders, he'll go with this starting 5, the ones who won at Detroit Mercy on Saturday. Alex Hubrick's one of the outstanding three-point shooters in the country. Keaton Norris, along with Logan Woods in the backcourt. We mentioned Jack Doumbia and Brandon Knoll, the team's leading scorer and rebounder. We're ready for basketball. Our trio of officials, Edwin Young, Bill Eck, and Tony Meeks. And we're underway, and Marshall has the opening tap. Wright State coming out in their man-to-man defense. Nutter running the point. Out high it goes to Martin, an excellent shooter. Back out front to Nutter. He feeds it down inside to Martin. Gonna watch this matchup tonight. Martin and Knoll. Turnaround jump hook off the glass, rolls off no good. The rebound corralled by Doumbia.
Yeah, that was good defense by Wright State. Anytime you can force a guy into a fadeaway, that's a good deal.
Scored pass to Logan Woods, who is the best three-point shooter on the Raiders percentage-wise. Crossover dribble and stolen away by Dawson, away from Doumbia. Turnover Wright State. And we have a stoppage, maybe a clock issue.
Shot clock, yeah, shot clock.
All right, so we'll stop, and Marshall will. Here's Corny Jackson, coach.
Yeah, Corny Jackson, he's in his first year at Marshall. He played at Marshall. He was an assistant at Marshall for 8 years, and before that he was at Cleveland State, a team in the Horizon League like Wright State.
Yeah, he was with Gary Waters.
2 first-year coaches here tonight.
Martin, one-on-one against Knoll underneath the hoop, flips it in the corner, back out front with the dribble. Going inside and stopped by Logan Woods was Mingo.
Great defense again.
Nutter, Martin, Dawson, top of the key, 6 to shoot, trying to create, getting a screen, pulls up, top of the key, the jumper is no good, and the rebound goes out of bounds, and last touched by Marshall. And that's something Coach Sargent talked about, getting more defensive rebounds.
Yeah, there's Clint Sargent. He's also in his first year. He's been at Wright State for quite a while. He was a Coach Nagy assistant for all the time that Coach Nagy was here. He played for Coach Nagy at South Dakota State. And, he's really had some tough luck. The Raiders have lost 3 games on the last possession of the game. They could very easily be 9 wins and 3 losses instead of 6 and 5.
Logan Woods on the wing, gets it down inside on the block. Knoll backing in on Martin, had it tipped away and stolen by Dawson. His second steal early. 2 turnovers for the Raiders. Skip pass out front to Nutter. He resets the offense. We played a minute and a half, no score. So both teams laying out the D offensively, struggling. Martin goes inside. Euro step. His runner is no good, and a hustle rebound by Doumbia. Back comes Wright State.
Kind of a wild shot there by
Brandon
Martin.
Knoll. Skip pass, Hubrick's. He's open from 3. 3-0 Wright State. Alex Hubrick's 19th best nationally. 33 three-point field goals this season.
Well, that was great vision by Brandon Knoll. He was Alex was clear on the other side of the floor, and he was able to see him and make the pass.
Dawson goes inside, blocked by Dumbia, and it goes out of bounds. Good help.
Jack came from the weak side there. That's the best time to block a shot, is block a teammate, help a teammate out defensively, and that's what Jack did there. He got by the initial defender, and Jack came from the weak side and blocked it, but Marshall was going to maintain possession.
Nutter out to and Chili Killen. He goes underneath the hoop. His layup attempt is missed, but a foul called on Wright State. Stops the clock. 17:42 to go in the first. 3-0 Raiders. Foul is on Dumbia.
Well, you can tell right away Marshall's quick on the perimeter. They got some, reminiscent of Detroit. The last time the Raiders played, they played up in Detroit, and Detroit's perimeter players were so quick and trying to take you off the dribble. And it's obvious Marshall's got a couple guys on the perimeter that can get to the rim too.
And Chili Killen, a grad student, 6'8", 220, out of Nigeria, averaging 12 points and 6 rebounds. And in the last game, he became the all-time leader in blocks for Marshall. Substitution for Marshall, Jalen Spears will check in, and Nutter will go back to the bench.
Yeah, he's a 6'1" grad student, too. He's averaging 7 points a game. He's only shooting 33% from the field, and he's made the second most threes on their team, but he's only at 30% there.
Second free throw is good. It's 3-2 Wright State.
Marshall's not a great outside shooting team in terms of three-point. They're only shooting 26%. They've only made 67 as opposed to Wright State's 95. So, there's a significant difference there in terms of three-point shooting.
Brandon Knoll face up against Martin. Takes him off the dribble on the right lane line, just backing in. Tries to get the shot up, but there's Dumbia with the offensive board and the stick back with 2 hands. 5-2 Wright State.
That's pretty impressive right there. First off, that he got the rebound, and secondly, they established position and went up and dunked it. That's a pretty athletic move.
Here's Mingo with it out front. Crossover dribble on Woods. Into the corner. 3 from Spear. It's too strong, and the rebound underneath, and Chili Killen. Now Mingo off the dribble, getting around his man. His layup with the left hand missed it, and the rebound underneath, grabbed loose all the way over to Chili Killen, who lays it in.
Well, we say the Wright State saved the ball under their own basket. That's something. It was going out of bounds, and they rolled it back. You don't want to do that because the other team, in this case Marshall, can get come up with it and get an easy shot.
5-4 Marshall. The Raiders have turned it over 3 times. 16:35 to go in the first, and a foul is called on like Jalen Spear. He fouled Keaton Norris, and it's going to be a common foul. That's first team foul on Marshall. And quickly into the lineup, Jack Dumbia will get a rest, and Michael Amaribe checks in for Wright State.
Yeah, Amaribe is a transfer from Houston Christian. He's had a couple games. I mean, Michael's biggest problem is finishing inside, but he plays extremely hard. He's a good defender.
Oh boy, that ball nearly turned over, but picked up by Knoll, the loose ball. Now Keaton Norris on the drive down the baseline. Threw it off one of the Marshall players over to Logan Woods. His 3 is short, and the rebound Martin.
Kind of a disjointed possession that time for the Raiders. Really didn't get anything going.
Here's Dawson with a jumper, knocks it down just beyond the free throw line. Marshall takes their first lead. It's 6-5, Thundering Herd. We played almost 4 minutes in the first half.
It came off of a screen there, and it wasn't a pick and roll, it was just a screen.
Knoll left open from 3. He knocks it down. The Raiders back on top, 8-6.
Well, that's 2 threes already for Wright State. We talked about their three-point shooting. They not only shoot a lot, they make a lot.
Last 6 games, they're averaging 45% from 3. Here's Dawson again, misses that shot. Actually, that was the point guard, Mingo, and the Raiders come up with a loose ball. Flip out to Knoll. He'll try it again out front. That one's too strong. Easy rebound for Spear.
Well, that's a tough shot because he was on the move there. He caught it, didn't get his feet set properly.
Dawson off to Mingo. Mingo, hesitation dribble into the paint. Stopped by Norris, throws the ball back out to Spear. Now Dawson with it on the wing. Outside of the arc, 15 on the shot clock. Now he's open from 3. It's offline and picked up by Knoll. So both teams a little cold here early. I know the Raiders are 3 of 6, but they turned it over 3 times.
Well, both teams are playing pretty good defense, Chris. I mean, they're getting after you on man-to-man defense. Neither team really good looks.
Knoll out front to Amaribe. Now they'll swing at Norris. Norris surveying the defense with 8 to shoot. Now Amaribe trying to go against Chili Killen, and a foul is called on the Marshall forward, and that will send us to our first media timeout. With 14:50 left to play in the first half, it's Wright State 8 and Marshall 6.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
Ooh, stuffed up again?
So congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Just Sinex? Breathe. What is... Wow. Sinex? Breathe. Ah.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Alrighty, who's ready for my famous charred duck?
Like, you know, to check the mascot first before bringing food to a tailgate.
Took this baby.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Horizon League and our members live and play in the largest and most vibrant cities in the country, allowing our student athletes exposure to unique experiences only available in major cities. To learn more about our major cities, visit horizonleague.com/brand recharge. Check out the favorite spots to visit, eat, and socialize of our athletes and administrators in our major cities by visiting horizonleague.com/LITL.
Now, I'll give a shout out to Doug Gage. He's a Wright State former golfer who's out in Arizona watching the game. Now, that's a great thing about ESPN Plus, Chris, is you can watch games all over the country. And Doug is out in Arizona watching this game with some of his buddies. Wright State's the women's team plays out there later this week. They play Grand Canyon, and Doug says he'll be going to that game too. Great fan.
Solomon Callahan in the game after that timeout makes the catch on the inbounds pass. Raiders with the ball and leading by 2. Hubrick, step back 3, got it. I'll tell you, this guy has shown so much great shooting, especially this year.
That's a tough shot too. I mean, step back jumpers are not easy shots.
On the drive, Nutter back into the game. Catching it, Greer off the move. His three-pointer is too strong. Rebound tipped inside. We got a foul call on Marshall, and I think it's Anuchili killing.
Good box out. Here you see now he takes him into the lane to create some space and then backs up what's called a step back jumper, where you take your man in, create some space, and then take a step back. That is not an easy shot because you're not standing still. You got to compensate for the movement backwards. And you're right, Chris. He's made that several times this year. It's almost to the point where every time he shoots it, you expect it to go in.
Well, his mid-range is even better. He's shooting 76% from mid-range, but he just turned the ball over right there on the good defense by Marshall. Here's Nutter streaking down the floor. He lost it out of bounds, and Wright State will have it on a nice defensive play by Brandon Norris.
Yeah, he got back there and just hit it off, and it went off of his knee out of bounds. You'll see here, I almost could have called a foul there, Chris. I mean, when you reach like that, you run the risk of the whistle being blown against you.
Keaton Norris off the dribble. Norris taking the ball inside. Little scoop with the left hand. Missed it, but he drew the foul. And that's something that Marshall's been prone to this year. They foul a lot.
Yeah, well, that was a pretty good move. I mean, the only way he was going to get it up there is to do the scooper. That's the scoop shot. And, the Marshall player, he did everything he could to avoid fouling him. That's Jalen Spear. He kept his hands straight up. And, a lot of times they won't make that call. But they did that time.
Norris, a 73% free throw shooter. He's 16th in the nation in assist turnover rate.
He's been solid, Chris.
He averages almost 5 a game.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot the ball very much. He's pretty much got to be open to get his shot off.
And missed the free throw, but Amari Bay, the offensive rebound. Norris thought about driving to the bucket. No look pass over to Knoll. Knoll working against Martin, backing in with 12 to shoot. Knoll still with the dribble. Fade away, had it knocked away, and it's loose, and it's picked up by Hubricks and stolen by Marshall. Dawson goes all the way in. His layup is good.
Yeah, there could have been a couple fouls called there.
Turnover Wright State. That's their third of the first half. Turns into points. It's 12-8 Raiders. 13:32 to go in the first half, and a foul out front on Dawson.
I thought Brandon Noel was getting fouled when he was inside.
Jack Doumbia back in. Also Drake Carter's first minutes for Wright State. Drake Carter, the redshirt sophomore, 6'8", out of Bellefontaine, Ohio, by way of Columbus. Alex Hubricks is going to get, I should say, Brandon Noel and Keaton Norris get a rest. Hubricks will inbound into the backcourt to Callahan. Coach Sargent's been using a lot of different combinations over the last few games.
Well, he's got some depth. He's got some depth that can play.
Versatility.
You can have depth, but
on the slip, Michael Amaribe goes in and he is fouled.
I think he might have sprained his ankle, Chris.
Oh boy, he's down and he is in pain.
I think he's all right. He'll get up.
Trying to be helped up by his teammates. Salomon Callahan will help him up. Amaribe, the transfer from Houston Christian. Watch it right here, Coach.
Yeah. He just came down on it. I mean, I stepped on the Marshall player's foot a little bit. It wasn't, it didn't bend real severe. That was just good hustle by Michael.
Spear the foul. That's 16 fouls already on Marshall. Amaribe, a nice fortuitous
got to bounce that time, didn't he?
He did.
I thought it was off to the side, and I didn't think there was any way that thing was going in. Got the nice bounce.
Michael this year, 68% at the line coming into the game, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds. His second one,
wow,
he did the same thing, hit the back of the iron and fell through.
Yeah.
Brandon Noel is in, Amaribe will go out. Wright State now leading by 6, 14-8, 13:20 to play in the first half.
You know, Salomon Callahan, who's come in at the guard position, has been pretty solid all year long. He had 15 in the first game against Kentucky, and he sprained his ankle in that game, and it took him a while to come back, but he's been solid the last 2 or 3 games.
He had 15 against South Florida in that Myrtle Beach tournament.
Yep. He's a good player. He's from here in Ohio, and he's just a real good player. Redshirt freshman.
Here's Nutter with it. His dribble stopped in the paint. Flips the ball back out front to Mingo. Mingo working against Doumbia. And a foul is going to be called. It's going to be on Wright State, and that's team foul number 2. And if it's Doumbia, he's going to pick up his second. And that's something that Jack's got to stay away from. He had that double-double against Detroit Mercy, but at times he will get in foul trouble.
Well, that was just an aggressive defensive move there. He was trying to go between the screen and got called for the foul.
Here's Martin. Out to Fricks into the game. Now Nutter with it. Launches the three. Hubricks, it rattles out. The rebound to Callahan. Solomon, redshirt freshman out of Fairfield near Cincinnati. Flips it over to Noel. Noel swings it over to Woods. Short corner, Hubricks. Spin move in the paint, and he's called for traveling. Got bumped. But a turnover for Wright State. That's been their bugaboo in the first half. That's turnover number 4.
Yep, it sure is. They haven't. The last field goal they had was that 3 by Hubricks on the step back jumper. They 4 possessions in a row where they got, Michael hit a couple free throws, but they haven't made a basket. 2 turnovers. Actually,
Norris.
3 turnovers. 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions.
Norris back in for Wright State. Hubricks checks out. 12:35 to go in the first half. Kick out to Nutter. Works against Norris. Takes him inside. Pump fake. Can't get the shot off. Swings the ball back out to Fricks. Now it's Mingo. Mingo against Woods. Now Nutter with it. Nutter takes it into the paint. Can't get the shot off. Now he fade away with 6 on the shot clock and knocks it down.
Everything's dribble drive, Chris. They don't run much structured offense. It's all dribble drive, taking you off the dribble.
Here's Norris, stopped at the elbow. Now Callahan. Norris, short pass, looking inside for Noel. Noel now, skip pass over to Carter. Now out front to Callahan, takes the 3. Callahan rises up. 2-point shot off the back of the iron, no good. And the rebound to Martin. 14-10 Raiders, under 12 minutes to play in the first half. Martin to Mingo. Mingo inside, off balance with the right hand, misses it, tipped by Noel over to Woods. Tell you what, Marshall plays with pace.
Yeah, they play with pace, and there isn't much structured offense. I mean, it's dribble drive, get in the lane. Wright State's done a pretty good job of defending
Woods
that.
finds Noel, but he couldn't make the catch. He had a wide open shot, gets it back underneath. Down low to Carter, who dunks it. Boy, great look from Brandon Noel, unselfish.
Yeah, well, they double teamed him, and he saw that out of the corner of his eye, and he went in the air. And I don't think he actually saw Dre until he went into the air to make try to make a shot, and he saw him out of the corner of his eye and dumped it down.
Dawson to Nutter. He's left open from 3 on the wing. It's too strong, and the rebound. Noel tips it over to Callahan. Callahan. Norris feeds it to Carter, goes inside, score it in a foul. That's the guy that the coaching staff at Wright State says got to get it going. Yep. And And Drake Carter off the bench already with 4. So we'll take a break with 11:02 to go in the first half. Wright State 18 and the Thundering Herd 10.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa. But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
Yes, it can be you that invents the future. Discover what limitless innovation looks like at Wright State University. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University. Apply to Wright State for the spring semester. Classes begin January 13th. Get excellent, affordable higher education. Visit wright.edu/apply. Go further at Wright State University. A transfer scholarship makes excellent, affordable education at Wright State University an even better value. Start the process at wright.edu/transfer. Go further at Wright State University.
Join the aviation program at Wright State University for fall 2025 and begin flying during your first semester. Learn more at wright.edu/aviation. Fly further at Wright State University.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. Today, the world is in the palm of your hand. Or at least this can is. For over 100 years, Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
A non-league matchup between two schools. Wright State out of the Horizon League. Marshall out of the Sun Belt Conference. The Raiders with an 8-point lead here at home, 18-10, with 11:02 to go in the first half. And, you know, Jim, we talk about, Drake Carter, just getting him unsettled. The Raiders have used basically 9 guys have averaged 10 minutes per game, something Coach Sargent wants to do this year, getting everybody involved.
Yeah, I know, and he's done a good job. I think Clint and his coaching staff have done a great job managing their substitutions, and they have depth, that can play. That's the key thing. You can have depth, but when you have depth that can play and contribute, that's a huge deal.
Carter's free throw is good. 3-point play. He's got 5. Hubricks leads with 6. It's a 9-point Raider lead. Marshall with the basketball. Nutter will bring it up with the dribble. Fricks on the floor along with Martin and Mingo, and also Will Moore into the game. Mid-range jumper, no good by Marshall. Like it was Martin. Here's Norris pushing it. Transition off to Knoll. Knoll step fake, goes inside with a left-hand headed block by Martin. Deflection goes to Mingo.
That's a good defensive play there. He recovered and was able to prevent a layup because Brandon was going to have a layup there.
Here's Mingo, gets a screen. His shot is up and in. Got it past Knoll, and a bucket from Mingo off the turnover for Wright State. 19-12 Raiders, 10:22 to play in the first half. Norris works against Nutter. Nutter, a sophomore guard out of Dublin Jerome High School. Here's Carter going in strong. His layup is good, so Drake Carter, little confidence now. He's got 7. It's 21-12, Wright State.
He caught that, made his move right away. He didn't give the defense a chance to make the adjustment.
And a foul is called on Wright State, pointing at Solomon Callahan, picking up the personal, his first, and the team's third.
Yeah, he was trying to get through a screen there. That's where Jack Dumia got his foul, too, trying to get through a screen. I mean, Marshall runs a lot of perimeter stuff. They don't really have, Martin's good, but he doesn't post up much inside. Most of it, what he does is off the dribble.
Cade Gibson in the game for Marshall. Hubricks back in for Wright State. Mingo into the paint, off to Nutter. Nutter dribble drive, throws it back out to the aforementioned Gibbs, threw it behind him, and a turnover for Marshall, just their first of the game.
Yeah, just got ahead of himself. I mean, I think that's their second turnover.
Okay.
Maybe the stats only have 1, but I got him down for 2.
9:50 to play in the first half. We talked about Coach Sargent. I was talking to him earlier today, and he said about the combinations. He said, we're starting to feel comfortable with different guys on the floor. He said he makes the substitutions, but he's looking for the staff now to help him out in that situation. And there's a turnover, and it's going to be a tie-up. And the alternating possession era belongs to Wright State. With 9:34 to play in the first, the Raiders up 21-12.
They do have Marshall with 2 turnovers.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Raiders with 5.
And most of Wright State's turnovers have been created because of Marshall's defense. It hasn't been, they've been turnovers that the defense has caused.
Drake Carter trying to create inside, turnaround from 10 feet away, around the rim and off, and the rebound, Martin. 21-12 Raiders.
That's pretty good defense after he took the first dribble.
Where the ball is Moore off to Gibbs. Moore, step back three in front of the Raider bench is no good. Hustle rebound for Keaton Norris. Norris pushing it up the other end. Norris leaves it down low and threw it away. Not a great passing lane to Knoll right there, so another turnover. That's 6 for Wright State. 9 minutes to go in the first half. 21-12 Raiders, and a turnover for Marshall. That's their third. Norris, he feeds it to Knoll, who dunks it. Wow, on the roll, Brandon Knoll. He's grimacing after that play. Let's hope he's okay. And that'll send us a timeout called. It's going to be a called timeout. 23-12, the Raiders' largest lead of the game now at 11 with 8:50 to play in the first. And it's like Brandon came down on that ankle. We have a chance to see it right here.
Yeah, nice pass. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, just kind of awkward.
Maybe his back. I'm not
but,
sure.
You know, if either one of these teams could cut down the turnovers, my goodness, it'd make all the difference in the world. Wright State has 6 turnovers, and Marshall has 3. It's been an entertaining first half, despite the turnovers and the break in action. Here you'll see again.
Well, we're not going to speculate.
Nice pass.
Might be his knee. I don't know. Came down on it. You can see he starts to grimace right there.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you jump in the air and you come down, and well, he is out of the game. They did take him out, so.
Not being worked on, so he'll be okay, just a rest. Marshall, Caden White into the game. He has a wide open 3, and it hit the backboard. Amari Bay with the rebound for Wright State.
See, that's not their strength. I mean, they're not a good three-point shooting team at all. They're only shooting on the season. They're shooting 26% out there.
Norris feeds it out to Hubricks. He is open for 3, and that one rims in and out. And the rebound pulled down by Marshall. And the ball is knocked out of play, and last touch by Amari Bay. And it belongs to Martin. They're going to call a foul.
Foul, yeah.
Michael picks up the personal foul. That's his first and the team's 4th.
You know, I talked about this earlier. Marshall's hit 67 threes on the season. Wright State's made 94. That's a significant difference. And besides that, Wright State's field goal percentage from 3 is 38%, where Marshall's is only 26%. So
Spears into the game. Dawson back in. His layup is blocked by Hubricks. It's loose, and Amari Bay comes out of there with it. Got a reach, but Hubricks up to Norris. Norris can't get around his man. Spears applying the defense.
Yeah, well, he created that foul. Yeah.
That's his first.
Keaton created that foul.
It's the 1-and-1 for Wright State with 8:03 to play in this first half. 23-12 Wright State. The Raiders shooting 53%, and Marshall just 23.8%.
Yeah, Marshall, I think, has gotten out of sync. I mean, they're not a three-point shooting team at all, and they've already, you know, taken 7 3-pointers. A third of their shots have been 3-pointers.
Norris can't hit the front end of the 1-and-1. Back comes Marshall. And Achille Killen off to Dawson. Back to Achille Killen. Had it stripped away by Norris. Goes down on the floor. He gets it up to Andrew Welledge into the game. Doesn't have numbers, so Welledge will bring it back out front. He finds Hubricks into the corner. Dre Carter. Dre Carter backing in. Out front to Hubricks. Hubricks in the middle. Fade away with the right hand, loses it, and the ball picked out of the air by Achille Killen.
That's good defense by Marshall. They took away the pick and roll and then made it tough on Hubricks on the shot.
Dawson open for 3. He can't get it to go. The ball goes out of bounds, and last touch by the Thundering Herd, and that will send us to a official timeout. So with 7:24 to go in the first half from the Nutter Center, it's Wright State 23 and the Thundering Herd of Marshall 12.
Here you go, Chris.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys?
Get a large 1-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Own a design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings.
I can help with that.
Get back to doing what you love. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks, your way to money.
filling the trades gap. This is TGL presented by SoFi. 24 of the best players in the world, no, the universe, pitted against each other 3 versus 3. In a first-of-its-kind arena. More Tiger, more Rory, more everybody. Hey, 6 teams, Atlanta, Boston, LA, New York, the Bay, and Jupiter.
Not that Jupiter.
What else? We had a shot clocks, mic'd up players, a ref, playoffs, 15 holes, overtime, timeouts. Did we mention the green moves? High tech, higher stakes, and you get to watch it all on ESPN, baby. Keep up. It's golf.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Whoa! This is star power from the jump.
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
That was well done.
Okay.
That was really nice, Chris. That was really nice.
I'm genuinely humbled. I just appreciate what everybody does here. I'm thankful the Wright State stuck with me for, now 28 years and having the opportunity to work with a lot of great people like you, Jim Brown, Bob Grody, Mark Vest, so many others that I've worked throughout the years. It's gone by so fast, but
yeah.
I'm incredibly humbled to see the other guys in the league, and it's just something that I cherish, and I thank you for it.
It's a lot of fun.
It is. So we got basketball to do right now. We have these people on the floor. They don't care. They want to win a basketball game, so let's get back to it. Alex Hubrick's into the game. He gets it over to Callahan. Callahan will bring the ball up against Nutter. Both of these teams playing extremely fast. We've had turnovers.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of them. That's been the only downside for both teams. Wright State's turned it over a few more times than Marshall.
Callahan with a dribble out front. Now they swing it to Willage.
Oh, great
inside
pass.
to Amari Bay. Has some position, lost his balance, puts it up, missed it, and the rebound to Marshall.
Yeah, he should have taken it up right away, but I don't think he had good balance. But that was a great pass.
Wright State now 8 of 16 from the floor. Now Dawson with it. Their best three-point shooter. Gets it down in low to Martin against Amari Bay. White, Martin. Martin uses the screen into the corner. Dribble drive Nutter. Out front, White is open for 3 and knocks it down.
Well, that's their first three-point basket. They've taken a bunch of them. I mean, they've taken 8. That's their 9th one, and they finally made one.
Raiders offense is stalled here. Here's Callahan trying to take it inside, draw a foul. Little runner with the left hand is good. His first 2 of the game for the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, a little bit too much dribbling there by Solomon, but he got it to go.
Now Nutter inside, runner off the glass, rolls off, and the rebound to Amari Bay. Amari Bay, outlet pass to Callahan, looking ahead. Cross pass to Hubricks into the corner, Knoll. Knoll with a dribble, swing it out, it's knocked away. It's stolen by White, but he can't hold on to it. It goes out of bounds with 19 on the shot clock, 5:58 to play in the first half. 25-15 Raiders.
Again, that was good recognition by Marshall to get a hand on that and knock it out of bounds, because if the Wright State player would have been able to catch it, he probably could have taken it off the dribble and gotten a pretty good shot.
All right, so Hubricks will inbound near midcourt, gets it into Callahan. Seeing some minutes here in this first half.
Yeah, 15 on the shot clock, so Wright State's got to go quick.
Remember, they're in the 1-and-1. Knoll dribble handoff, tried to get it to Hubricks. Now he does. Ball knocked away by Dawson. Now Hubricks with 6 to shoot. Hubricks trying to find a lane, gets it to Knoll. Knoll doesn't realize he doesn't have much time. Goes in with the right hand, lays it up, no good. And the rebound is by Martin. Back comes Marshall. White hit a 3 a moment ago. Short pass and a Chili Killen. Now White into the corner. Dribble drive down the baseline. Bingo. Flips the ball back out to Chili Killen. He goes inside. Pump fake into the corner. Mingo down the lane. Puts it up. Nope, but he drew a foul. So Mingo will go to the line for 2. That's 5 team fouls on Wright State. Drake Carter quickly off the bench. He and Logan Woods will check in for Wright State. 5:16 to play in the first half. The Raiders are up by 10.
Marshall's Coach Jackson has played 11 players here early in the game. I mean, that's a lot of he's trying to find the right mixture.
Mingo's first free throw is good. Mingo coming into this game 64% at the line. At 17 points against Morehead State in that victory. 9 assists against South Carolina State earlier this year. Amari Bay and Willage are out for Wright State. We mentioned Carter in, along with Woods. They join Knoll and Callahan and Hubricks for Wright State. Mingo's next free throw, off the front of the iron, missed it. Dawson tried to go for the offensive rebound. It's last touch by Dre Carter. So Marshall will keep it in their own end, trailing 25-16 with 5:14 left here in the first half.
You got to box out on free throws. I mean, that was a poor job by Wright State, allowing Marshall to get a hand on it, knock it off Dre Carter out of bounds.
Mingo gets it into Martin, who's been held in check here tonight, their leading scorer. Dribbles in hard against Knoll, lost the handle on it, but is able to get it back. Over to White with 12 to shoot. Skip pass over to Mingo. Mingo spin move with the dribble against Woods. Gets a screen at the elbow, the jumper no good, but a foul is called with 5 on the shot clock on Wright State.
Yeah, it's not very good defense. He forced him into a fadeaway shot. I mean, Marshall's dribbling the ball way too much. A lot of one-on-one action, trying to get into the lane, trying to create something inside. They don't really, you know, Martin's their best offensive player. He's 6'8", but he doesn't post up, Chris. He takes you off the dribble.
And his first free throw is no good. Mingo has struggled at the line, 64%, as we mentioned. 6'4" guard out of Hamilton, Ontario. Marshall, a game over 500, had not won on the road this year. And the second free throw hits the front of the iron and drops through. Lead is 25-17, a low-scoring first half.
I think I read where Marshall, going back to last season, has lost like 11 straight road games.
Well, that's something that Coach Jackson would like to see reversed here tonight, obviously.
It's not easy to win on the road. Wright State has played enough road games so far this season. They know what it's like.
Logan Woods head of the key, finds Dre Carter. Carter, aggressive dribble, back out to Woods. Woods dribbling down the paint. Woods in traffic, lost it to Hubricks on the baseline. Feeds it out to Callahan. He's wide open. Three ball is good. Sullivan Callahan. Long distance, he's got 5. 28-17 Raiders, 4.5 to play in the first. Mingo. And a Chili Killen. Outside the arc to Mingo. Mingo looking inside for Martin, trying to get position on Knoll, and they threw it away. He went right to Solomon Callahan.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, whether he expected his teammate to make a cut or whatever, but he threw it right to a Wright State player.
Knoll backing in on Anachili Killen. The layup is up and good. Just backed right in on him. I believe he's got 2 fouls, so he didn't want to commit his third, and Knoll was isolated, got the easy bucket.
Yeah, that's the third time tonight that Brandon's been in that situation. The other 2 times, Marshall defended it pretty well. That time, he was strong enough to get a layup.
Mingo with the mid-range jumper on the other end. 3:50 to play in the first half. It's 30-19 Wright State. Callahan seeing extended minutes here in this first half behind the back dribble. On the wing, over to Knoll. Knoll finds Hubricks deep on the left wing. Looks inside, goes to Woods. Now he finds Carter on the block. Carter works against Anachili Killen. Pushes off with the right hand. That's going to be an offensive foul. You can't extend the arm. That was an easy call, and that'll send us to the under 4 immediate timeout. With 3:31 remaining in this first half, balanced scoring for the Raiders. You got Knoll with 7, Carter with 7, and the Raiders on top, 30-19.
Yes, it can be you that invents the future. Discover what limitless innovation looks like at Wright State University. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University.
At Wright State University, you're never alone. We'll be by your side every step of your journey. Experience what true limitless support feels like. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research.
Yeah, you know, the statistics here so far, both teams, it seems like there's been a lot more turnovers. Wright State's got 7. Marshall has 5, but Wright State is really playing great defense. Marshall's 28% from the field, 1 for 9 on 3-point shots, where Wright State's 11 for 22, 52%, 4 for 7 on their threes. That's the difference in the game. Wright State's up 11. They've made 4 threes to Marshall's 1.
Mingo will bring the ball up against the Wright State man-to-man defense. Keaton Norris back into the game for the Raiders. Here's Mingo with it in the corner to White. Step back three. He's got one already. That one's too hard, but the long rebound goes to Dawson.
Yeah, hit the back of the rim and just popped all the way out. That happens a lot of times on 3-point shots.
Here's Mingo. Forces one up off the glass. Misses it. The tip no good, but there comes Hubricks with it. Hubricks takes it to the middle of the floor. Hubricks on the wing. Knoll. Look out for the double team. Back out front. Hubricks. Reverse it. Middle of the floor, Norris back to Hubricks. Hubricks launches the three-pointer. It's off the back of the iron, and the rebound to White. 30-19 Wright State, 2:50 to play in the first. Here's Dawson, kicks it out. White, he is wide open from 3. He's got 2 of them now off the bench.
Yeah, he got his feet set that time, had a really good look at the basket.
6'3" freshman in Orlando, Florida, came into the game 0 for 3 outside of the arc. It's now an 8-point Raiders lead, 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. Knoll, he hit one earlier from there. He's got another one. Brandon Knoll in double figures now with 10 points. Raiders up by 11, 2:23 left in the first half. Now Mingo in the corner. White Norris with a dribble, looks left, goes right. Hubricks back to Norris. Now they find Dre Carter. Dre Carter looking inside. He feeds it into Knoll against Martin. Knoll backing in against Martin, trying to get some position. Jump hook with the right hand is good.
Well, you let a guy catch it that deep, you're in trouble, and that's what happened to Martin that time. You know, you mentioned White. He's hit 2 threes. Coming into this game, he had only played 8 minutes on the season. I don't know if he had an injury or what, but he's played well here early tonight.
Well, they came in shooting 26% from 3, and we have a traveling violation on Dawson, who can't believe it, looking over to his coaching staff. So the Raiders will have it on the turnover with 1:37 to play in the first half, leading by 13.
Well, when you're only shooting 28% from the field, you better play great defense, and that's what Marshall's faced with here.
Norris can't get the shot off against White. Now Callahan on the wing, gets it down and low to Knoll. Knoll against Martin, dribbles it into the paint. Fadeaway shot is good. Brandon Knoll getting hot towards the end of the first half.
Well, Marshall's made the decision not to double team him, and they're paying the price.
37-22 Wright State. Inside Dawson. Pump fake, goes up and scores from about 3 feet from the bucket.
Well, he got in deep that time off the dribble. That's and then creates a ball and they keep a shot.
Hubricks inside at the free throw line. Back to Knoll. Takes the 3. Now a step move goes up, and he's going to be called for traveling.
Well, I don't know about that. I'd see that. Well, I guess he did. You know, that's up NBA. That would have been a basket. The Euro step, they call it the Euro step. I just call it traveling. I mean,
37-24, 13-point lead for the Raiders. 36 seconds left first half. Shot clock now at 19.
Yeah, Wright State's in a 2-3 zone here, Chris. This is the first time they've been in the zone.
Gibbs out front. Martin with it, the free throw line. Pass on the baseline to Gibbs. He puts it up and in.
Nice pass. First off, it was a great catch because the pass was kind of high. And he went up and caught it. Came down, established position, and made a nice backhanded reverse layup.
Gibbs, his bench. How we will end the first half. So good shooting by Wright State. Both teams playing up and down, and we will send it to the break with Wright State on top of the Thundering Herd at the half here at the Nutter Center, 37-26.
You got the tickets?
Vivid Seats, the only ticket company in the game that rewards you for buying. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats, official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate, save money on auto insurance, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
Or what if we move back?
Hold on and let me think.
We just have too many children.
Ugh, we have one child and that's not funny.
It's funny. It's just not constructive.
We need a miracle.
Miracle every Thursday starting at 2:45.
Can I tell you something? I love you.
I know.
Find childcare that fits your schedule. Learn more at care.com.
And welcome back to the Nutter Center. And Wright State on top by 11 at the half, 37-26, along with Jim Brown. This is Chris Collins. And first half, you know, the Raiders shot the ball fairly well. They're a good shooting team, but a lot of turnovers in this first half. Marshall playing fast, and they're staying in it at this point.
Well, Marshall hasn't. They've scored 6 points off of Wright State's turnovers. Wright State's had 7 turnovers, and it's been kind of disjointed for Wright State. They've played well. They've shot the ball really well, but when you only have like 32 possessions and you turn it over 7 times, that's a significant number. I think Wright State's only averaging 10 turnovers on the season. That's right, 10 turnovers for the game, so they're not doing well that. But every other part of the game, their defense is solid, their rebounding is solid, and their shooting is pretty normal.
Well, with the Raiders, the way they have shot the ball from 3, especially over the last 6 games, you know, shooting at 45.5%. Over the weekend at Oakland and Detroit Mercy in league games, they were 24 of 50. They're 5 of 10 here in this first half, but they're really trying to get that ball inside. Some foul trouble on Marshall, and also Brandon Knoll has taken advantage of that. He's got double figures.
They're not double teaming Brandon inside. They maybe have done it once. So Brandon's had a pretty free reign in there. I think they're afraid to double team him because that opens up the 3-point shot. You know, Marshall's not a 3-point shooting team. They're like 1 for 12 here. I think they've taken too many threes, to be honest about it. They try to take you off the dribble. They're very similar to Detroit in that aspect, getting you off the dribble, trying to get into the lane, trying to get 2 people on the ball so they can kick it out. And they've done that, but they just haven't been able to execute the 3-point shot.
Okay, we are at halftime. Justin Kinner will take us through halftime here at the Nutter Center. The score is Wright State 37 and the Thundering Herd 26.
You got the tickets?
Vivid Seats, the only ticket company in the game that rewards you for buying. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats, official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate, save money on auto insurance, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
Or what if we move back?
Hold on and let me think.
We just have too many children.
Ugh, we have one child, and that's not funny.
It's funny. It's just not constructive.
We need a miracle.
Miracle every Thursday starting at 2:45.
Can I tell you something? I love you.
I know.
Find childcare that fits your schedule. Learn more at care.com.
The Wright State Raiders 37, Marshall 26. It's halftime. Welcome you back. Wright State University's Niners Center, Justin Kinner with you here. Briefly sitting in for Chris Collins and the coach Jim Brown. Wright State, their final home non-conference game before they turn their attention towards Horizon League play. They will have Eastern Michigan coming up, and we'll look at that more coming up here in just a little bit. Right now, 9 different players have hit the floor for Wright State. Clint Sargent and his staff, of course, in the first half. 7 of those 9 have come away with the bucket. And right now, Brandon Knoll, the Horizon League preseason player of the year, just continuing his string of great performances. I mean, you look at the 14 first half points. He's done it from behind the three-point line, dribble, drive, post up, turn to that inside shoulder and go up with the hook. He's done it all here tonight, and they'll need another big half from him in the second half if they want to close this one out and hold off Marshall, that's for sure. Speaking of Marshall, let's take a look at what they have coming up. Obviously on the road here, taking on this Raider squad. They'll have an opponent out of the MAC. They'll take on the Bobcats, Ohio, coming up on December 14th. West Virginia, Wesleyan, that's what they'll have on the 16th. Southern Miss out of the Sun Belt, Elon, and then another Sun Belt opponent in Texas State on January 2nd. It's kind of wild that we're already looking a few weeks from now, already being the new year, but that's where we're at within the calendar year here for this college basketball season. As far as the Raiders, their interesting non-conference slate continues a little bit, or I should say at least just for one more matchup. They'll, of course, have another Horizon League opponent coming up on the 18th, right here at the Nutter Center. A week from tonight, they'll welcome in Youngstown State on the 21st. On a Saturday, they'll be on the road at Eastern Michigan to wrap up their non-conference slate, and then it is all Horizon League games from there on out, December 29th, all the way to the end of the season. They'll open up at Cleveland in the home January 5th. game against Oakland, their rematch. They lost it when they split the Horizon League season opener series against Oakland and Detroit, coming away with the victory over Detroit, the loss over Oakland, but that's what's coming up for the Wright State Raiders. If you're just joining us, it's halftime here on ESPN Plus. 37-26, the Raiders over the Herd right now. But let's take a look at some highlights. I saw a big jumper right there from the top of the key. That was Dawson, by the way. Dawson with 6 points in the first half. Ryan Nutter, a bucket in the first half. That was his only bucket right there. Marshall, not a very good three-point shooting team. 12 three-point attempts, 2 of 12 from behind the three-point line. Speaking of the three, take a look right there. Brandon Knoll for the Raiders, 14 first-half points, 4 rebounds, 2 of 3 from behind the three-point line. Alex Hubricks, don't forget, that's kind of his game too. He's 2 of 4 from behind the three-point line. Brandon Knoll from 3 the last time, and take a look at the big man running the floor in transition with the slam. Brandon Knoll, 14 points in the first half, as mentioned. Take a look at the first half stats right here. Wright State, I mean, just very efficient right now. The only problem for Wright State in the first half is their inability to take care of the basketball. 8 first half turnovers, but once they started taking care of the basketball, they really started sharing the ball. You take a look at the assist numbers in that first half. 8 first half assists to the 8 turnovers. Clean up the turnovers, more opportunities for the Raiders, who, by the way, 26 shot attempts for Wright State, 31 shot attempts for Marshall. Marshall not a good three-point shooting team, as you see here in the first half, 16%, but they've taken more threes than the Raiders in that first half. Wright State very efficient from the 3, 5 of 10. Chris Collins, the coach, Chip Brown, they'll take over from here when we come back. Second half action coming up next. The Wright State Raiders lead it 37-26.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, proceeds from the lottery have helped keep our state parks serene and majestic. Proceeds have helped fund education, supporting our school systems, and empowering high school graduates with Promise scholarships. Proceeds also provide care for our seniors, enriching lives and communities. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
Wow, este mundo es tan absolutamente maravilloso. Tenemos que salvar este planeta. Salvarlo de los miedosos con ojos inocentes que solo aman el bajo riesgo y no son lo suficientemente valientes para lanzarse a lo que nunca se ha hecho antes. Dile hola al muscle car más poderoso del mundo. El mundo nunca ha visto una fuerza como esta. Cuando se trata de salvar el planeta, lo hacemos a nuestra manera.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No. Okay. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
Horizon League student athletes have major experiences in our league, including NCAA Division I competition and championships and exposure on ESPN platforms. To learn more about the major experiences provided by the Horizon League and our members, visit horizonleague.com/brand recharge. Our thanks to Justin Kinner at halftime, along with Jim Brown, Chris Collins back here at the Nutter Center. The Raiders are up 37-26. And, you know, Jim, something we've seen with Wright State all year long, first 5 minutes of each half.
Yeah, well, you know, in any game, the first 5 minutes are important. You always want to get off to a good start, but it's equally important at halftime. People have sat down for a good 15 minutes, and a lot of times you can change the outcome of a game in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Wright State certainly did that up at Detroit the other day. They came out and I think scored the first 8 or 9 points of the second half and went from an 8-point lead to a 15-point lead. So you always want to get off to a good start because, you know, the least important score is the score at halftime. It doesn't mean a thing.
Caden White, who did not start, is going to start the second half for Coach Jackson. He was able to give them a lift off the bench, hit a couple of threes. He's got 6 points. He's one of 6 players who have scored for the Thundering Herd in the first half, and they have the first possession here in the second half.
He must have been hurt or something.
Mingo up and under. Nice move. Gets
nice
around
move.
Woods and laid it in.
Sure was a nice move.
So Norris will bring it back for Wright State against Mingo.
It's almost a turnover there.
Noel with 14 points. Now Hubricks. Hubricks trying to get some separation. Now goes one-on-one against Marshall's. Martin misses the fadeaway jumper mid-range, and back come the Thundering Herd. Trailing by 9. It's Mingo off the screen of Anachili Killen. He's left wide open from 3, and he knocks it down. Mingo just 6 of 21 coming into this game from long distance, and it's now just a 6-point game. We played almost a minute.
Well, Wright State went behind the screen there, which, you know, you can't blame them because
Norris will try to answer one, and he does, off the screen of Noel.
I said in that last basket by Marshall, it was a ball screen, and Wright State elected to go behind the screen, and that's why Mingo had the shot.
Raiders 6 of 11 beyond the arc. Mingo into the paint, pitches it out to Dawson. His three-pointer hits too strong. Rebound Noel, tipped by Doumbia. Anachili Killen, and it goes into the hands of Hubricks. Hubricks thought Doumbia was coming in on the wing with a no-look passing. He threw it away.
Yeah, I don't know who he was passing that to, because Hubricks was, Jack was totally covered on the right wing, and on the left wing, I think it was behind the play. So I don't know what Alex was thinking there.
Mingo on the left lane line. Anachili Killen hands it off to Dawson. Dawson flips it out to White. White looking inside for Martin. Now it's Anachili Killen with a drive on Doumbia. Goes up from close range, bounces around, no good. Rebound Doumbia. And quickly a foul in the backcourt by White.
That's good defense by Wright State there, because Killian got into the lane, and he's been tough in there tonight so far. He got into the lane. Wright State didn't foul him. They made him shoot a jump shot and was able to come up with a rebound.
Anachili Killen with 4 points. He has 4 rebounds. Pressure by Mingo in the backcourt. Hubricks and Norris, and they're motioning for some help to come up as Hubricks trying to get the ball in play. He throws it to Doumbia. Jack will bring it up past midcourt. He'll leave it for Woods. Woods takes it into the paint. Pump fake, goes up short range, knocks it in.
Nice move. That wasn't very good defense by Marshall. Wright State caught him off guard there, and Logan got into the lane. A nice little pump fake there. Same thing Marshall's done several times tonight, but that time it worked for Wright State.
Woods' first 2 of the game. Here's White. Mid-range jump shot, rolls around, no good. The tip is no good. Anachili Killen, ball loose, picked up by Hubricks. Raiders back on the offensive end, leading 42-31. We played 2.5 minutes on the second half. Deep ring right. Norris, skip pass over to Woods. Launches the 3. Riddles in, goes in. Well, I tell you, it's going good when you get one like that from long distance.
Yeah, well, Logan Woods has been a real surprise for the Raiders this year. He really played well, defensively and offensively, and there's an offensive foul.
That's 19 threes this year, 48% coming into the game beyond 3 for Logan Woods.
I mean, if he's got his feet set, which he does there, and the thing about Logan Woods, he takes no time to get that shot off. I mean, he has made tremendous improvement. People that haven't just watching Wright State for the first time, I'm telling you, he has really made a significant improvement as a player.
Also
played very little as a freshman, really. And, boy, this year he's a starter, and he's a contributor and doing really well.
Doumbia, they leave him open from three, and it rims in and out. And the rebound comes down to Marshall. Picked off by Gibbs. 45-31, Wright State by 14. We're under 17 minutes to play in the second half. Martin goes inside, double team, puts it up, missed it, rebound. Hubricks had it knocked away by Gibbs underneath. His shot is no good, and he's fouled. Let's see who the foul's going to be called on. It's going to be called on Alex Hubricks. He and Norris were in the vicinity.
That's good hustle by Marshall. I mean, did not give up on the play.
Kate Gibbs is at the line. He and his twin brother Jacob, actually, they're triplets. We learned from the Marshall staff that the other member of the family of the triplets is a golfer. And these two play basketball. They're from Plainfield, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis, not far from here.
Yep.
So
that's unusual. Well, it's unusual to have two triplets. Another one, all three of them are athletes.
And the second free throw is good. 16:47 to play, 45-33, Wright State by a dozen. Keaton Norris up the floor against Mingo, picks the three off the knoll, tried to find Doumbia on the back cut, and the Raiders really killing themselves tonight with turnovers.
Well, yeah, and a bunch of them have been unforced. I mean, the last two have been totally unforced. That one, the one that Hubricks had, I mean, no reason for that, just lack of concentration.
Now, Coach Sargent has said you guys play through the mistakes. Don't be thinking about them on the other end. Here's White, runner with the right hand, missed it. Rebound, Hubricks. Raiders looking to run. Hubricks crosses midcourt, finds Norris. Norris fakes the three. Headed ball taken away and stolen by White.
Well, he did a really nice job there, Chris.
Martin down the lane and no shot, and he's fouled before the shot. And that'll be team foul number 2 on the Raiders. Stops the clock with 16:12 to play in the second half. 45-33, Wright State.
Keaton Norris did the shot fake, got his man out of position, and then took one dribble and coughed the ball up. I mean, that's 10 turnovers now. Well, Wright State has, 11 turnovers, and Marshall has 7. Both teams have been very careless with the basketball. I mean, just unforced, unnecessary turnovers. Uncharacteristic for Wright State, to be honest about it, because they're only averaging 10 turnovers a game.
Inbounds pass, Dawson gets a screen, open from 3, and he knocks it down. So we mentioned he was their best three-point shooter, only 30%, but he's got now, coming into the game, 20. We played almost 4 minutes. It's 45-36, Wright State by 9. Solomon Callahan. Callahan off the dribble. Played a lot of minutes in that first half off the bench. Over to Keaton Norris, back to Callahan. Fakes the three. Dribble drive, goes through the paint. Leaves it for Drake Carter, who drops it in.
Well, that's a great move on both. I mean, not only Solomon's move, but the shot fake, a great shot fake, got into the lane, but Drake Carter getting to the position where he can receive a pass.
Carter with a season-high 9 points, forcing the ball up and missing. It was partially blocked by Knoll on the shot by Martin, and the Raiders come back with a deflection. Norris to Knoll. Norris on the wing. Carter back to Norris. Dribble drive. Norris takes the ball inside, flips it to Knoll, and a foul is called. And that will send us to the under 16 timeout here in the second half from Wright State. Wright State leading the thundering herd of Marshall. We'll take a break from the Nutter Center with a score. The Raiders 47 and Marshall 36.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. Today, the world is in the palm of your hand. Or at least this can is. For over 100 years, Barbasol. It's a can of can-do.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Yes, it can be you that invents the future. Discover what limitless innovation looks like at Wright State University. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University.
Join the aviation program at Wright State University for fall 2025 and begin flying during your first semester. Learn more at wright.edu/aviation. Fly further at Wright State University.
You're looking at a work of art. No, it's not the Mona Lisa.
But this beautiful can costs a lot less and looks magnificent in your bathroom. And Mona Lisa can't give you a smooth, close shave. Barbasol, it's a can of can-do.
The Major Moves pillar of the Horizon League experience highlights our commitment to innovation and a forward-thinking approach to challenges while addressing emerging trends in all aspects of the college sports environment. The Horizon League and its partners have spent the last couple of years investing in education, opportunities, and concepts around NIL to best support our athletes. Millions of minutes of Horizon League action was viewed across all of the ESPN platforms last year, and we appreciate your support for our athletes and programs. To learn more about the major moves across the Horizon League, visit horizonleague.com.
Yeah, Wright State hasn't cooled off in the second half. They're shooting 67% from the field, 67% on their three-point shots. They're 2 for 3. Rebounds for the game, Wright State has 24. Marshall has 20. And the turnovers are still a bugaboo for the Raiders. They have 11, where Marshall has 7. The interesting thing, though, is Marshall has only scored 9 points off of Wright State's 11 turnovers.
Hubricks throws it in to Carter. It was deflected. Carter picks up, dribbles in against his defender. Kind of isolated there. Goes up off the double team, puts it up, no good. And the rebound is grabbed by Spear in the corner. He's playing with 4 fouls. 3 team fouls on Marshall in the second half, 2 on Wright State. We have just over 15 minutes to play in regulation. 47-36 Raiders by 11. Spear.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul there.
Is it offensive? Yes, it is. Illegal screen. And it's going to be called. It looks like it's going to go against Cade Gibbs.
And Solomon Callahan was trying to get through that screen, and as he approached it, they just moved, and that's an offensive foul. You got to be stationary.
Inbounds pass, pressure on the backcourt, man-to-man pressure. They get it to Norris. Marshall backs off, stays in their man-to-man defense. Norris flips it over to Knoll. Knoll trying to get it to Carter. Too many bad passes for the Raiders tonight.
One more dribble and he'd have had a better angle. I think he thought that Dre was going to pop out, but Dre had his man on his back. Why would he pop out?
That's a dozen turnovers for Wright State.
Just a bounce pass right in there. I think the 5th one by Brandon Knoll.
Mingo left open mid-range. Jump shot rattles out. The rebound by Brandon Knoll. Knoll with 5 boards to go along with a team-high 14 points. Now Hubricks looking for a screen. Throws across court now to Norris. Inside to Carter. Carter with 9 off the bench. Face up against Figgs. Takes him inside, forces it up, and scores.
That's a good, strong move. I mean, Marshall is not doubling anybody on the post, and Dre Carter's taking advantage of that. That's a good, strong move.
Here's Gibbs, goes in strong with the left hand, lays it in, and he's fouled by Knoll. What an aggressive move by Gibbs right there.
It sure was. I mean, he didn't hesitate. He took it right to the basket.
49-38 Wright State.
Marshall's hanging in there. Wright State just can't, it's an 11-point lead, but they just can't get away from them.
And he'll go to the free throw line, does Gibbs. Gibbs 6'6", averaging 4 points, 3 rebounds a game, and he converts the three-point play. Hubricks will inbound to Norris. We approach 14 minutes left in the second half. It's a 10-point lead for Wright State. Norris dribbles it into the forecourt. Still with it, middle of the floor on the wing left. Hubricks flips it over to Norris. Norris back to Knoll. 15 on the shot clock. Knoll one-on-one against Gibbs and a foul.
Yeah, he put it on the floor. I don't think he was expecting that, talking about Gibbs. I don't think he was expecting Brandon to put the ball on the floor and take it off the dribble, but he did, and he bumped him pretty good, and there was a foul called.
Lob pass into Carter. Bounce pass, free throw line to Knoll. Knoll against Gibbs with the right hand, lays it up and in, and he's fouled.
That's a pretty good move. That is a pretty good move for Brandon Knoll. He got his man, made a little spin dribble. I thought the ball was going to roll off the rim, but it didn't, and they got it to go.
You know, that's something the Raiders could not do against Oakland. They had some shots inside, and they just couldn't finish.
Well, they were a lot more physical inside than Marshall. Marshall's got a couple 6'8" guys, but they're not very physical.
To the line is Brandon Knoll. looking for his 17th point, and he gets it on the free throw. His first attempt of the night. The Raiders just 5 of 7 from the line, even though Marshall put the Raiders in the 1-and-1 early in the second half. Now they have 16 fouls. Now who are they going to call it on? They're going to call it on Solomon Callahan.
I think they're going to call it on Solomon Callahan. He ran into the screen. That time the screener was stationary. He didn't move, and last time he moved to kind of get a better angle for his teammate. That time he didn't move, and Wright State was called for the foul.
Coach Jackson, his team trailing by 13 with 13.5 minutes to play. Spear, jump stop at the elbow. Nice backdoor pass to Fricks, who slams it for the easy 2.
Dre Carter got caught ball looking that time. He wasn't watching his man in the corner. And
no, all alone. Callahan gets his man in the air, puts it up short range off the glass.
What a move. He made a spin move, and his man jumped all the way around him. And good patience by Solomon to get the best shot possible there.
7 points for Callahan off the bench. Dribble drive by Dawson against Hubricks, up off the glass, scored, and a foul.
Tell you what, they do that well. They get you into the lane and make that spin move. Wright State's done a good job most of the night on that, but that time
Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson made a nice spin move, kept control of the ball, and got a good angle on the glass and got it to go and got fouled.
He and Mingo leading the way with 11 points. Marshall looking to make it a dozen. And he does. It's 54-44, Wright State by 10. Under 13 minutes to play in regulation.
Yeah, both teams have scored on their last 3 possessions.
Norris to the basket. Fade away, short range, got it. Keaton Norris.
You don't see him do that very often.
He's got 6. Raiders back up to a lead by 12. Here's Gibbs inside on Knoll, puts it up and in.
Well, that basket was created because Marshall got the ball inbounds quickly and got it down the floor before Wright State got their defense set. You know, if you score a basket, you ought to be able to get back and set your defense, but Marshall just beat him down the floor.
And time for celebration. Here's Callahan. 3-pointer is off the mark. Saved by Carter, but he threw it right to Spear. And back comes Marshall on the run. Mingo to Spear. Catch, shoot from 3. Got it. 56-49. The Raiders' lead has shrunk to 7 with 12:13 to play. Callahan takes it into the offensive end. Leaves it for Knoll. Marshall feeling a run right here. Raiders need an answer. Down low it goes to Knoll, and it's knocked away, but a foul is called on Marshall.
That's their 17th foul, too.
And we will have the 1-on-1 when we return. Exactly 12 minutes to play in regulation from the Nutter Center. Wright State on top of the Thundering Herd by a score of 56-49.
Here you leave today and enter a world of
Other worlds.
for whatever you love. Infinite worlds await.
Enjoy. Stuffed crust, buttery garlic spread. Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key.
Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
This is star power from the jump. The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
To the end zone for the touchdown.
Oh my goodness.
With ESPN Plus, catch live NFL games. Plus,
let's go to the tape.
NFL shows from some of the biggest names in the game and exclusive expert analysis. ESPN Plus equals more football. Stream now.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster.
I take the first shot and you keep it coming. We know a lot about turning nothing to something.
He is must-see television every time he puts that uniform on.
College basketball, it never disappoints.
How fun is this?
The best of college basketball every Saturday on ESPN.
Along with Jim Brown and Justin Kinner, Chris Collins at the Nutter Center, 56-49. The Raiders on top of Marshall. While we have an opportunity, just want to mention to all the Raider fans out there, a blood drive again this year for Bob Grody. Bob had a very serious health issue a year ago. Talked to Bob this week. Everything's looking good right now, and he really thanks the people for stepping up. So they're going to have another donation drive January 1st through the 10th. All registered donors receive 2 tickets to Wright State's February 2nd home game. Just go to donortime.com to sign up. And also visit the Dayton Center at 349 South Main Street in Dayton. Brandon Knoll at the line as we come out of the break. The 1-and-1, he'll get the bonus. Raiders are up now with 12 minutes to play, 57-49.
Bob played back in the Division II days, was an All-American here. He was a basketball player and a baseball player, was drafted by the Mets as a pitcher. And he's a very lucky man. He had a serious health problem, but he's totally recovered, and saw him tonight. He looks good.
Raiders apply some pressure. Doumbia back into the game. Skip pass over there, taking it as Dawson. 58-49, Raiders by 9. Lob pass underneath the Fricks, underneath the bucket, had it blocked by Doumbia and saved over to Norris. What an athletic play by Jack.
Sure was, without fouling.
Takes it all the way down the lane. His left-hand layup is no good, and the rebound by Gibbs. Sometimes can play a little bit fast. Now Dawson left open from three-point land. He's got another one. Dawson heating up for Marshall.
Keeping him in the game.
58-52, the Raiders by 6 with 11:15 to play in the second half.
Marshall's not going to go away. They're too good a team.
Doumbia off balance, puts it up, scores, and he's fouled by Fricks. They just cleared out for Jack, who you talked about before the game can create.
Yeah, he can take you off in a heart.
That's 3 fouls now. He's going to come out of the lineup, make way for Solomon Callahan. Marshall, non-shooting foul. The next one will be the bonus. Mingo looking to trigger the inbounds pass, and before the play, we have a foul called on Wright State. The foul's going to be on Alex Hubricks. Didn't see that. That's 3 on the Raiders sharpshooter. And now it will be free throws. And at the line will be Gibbs.
He's only taken 2 free throws going into this game. He's 1 for 2.
Cade Gibbs, 3 for 3 tonight, make it 4 for 4. And the Herd inching their way back into this one. A lot of time left with just under 11 minutes to play in the second half.
Well, they're not going to go anywhere. They're too good a team. Wright State's going to have to answer every run that Marshall makes, and you know they're going to make them. And they have an advantage now because they're in the 1-and-1, so every foul's going to be.
Free throw is missed. The tap is up, no good, and Knoll comes away with it.
I think Wright State almost tipped that in.
Solomon Callahan running the point, and from away from the ball. In other words, we have a clock issue again for the second time. It's still at 30 seconds. It should run. So Knoll will inbound at midcourt. I assume it was a clock issue.
Yeah, no, it was a clock issue.
Okay.
Yeah, it just never started.
Inbounds pass to Callahan. And be picked up by Spear with 4 fouls. Now Knoll top of the key on the wing. Doumbia taking the ball inside. Off balance. Shot rolls around and in.
Wow.
That's an NBA style shot right there.
That was great balance on his part.
In the corner 3, another one. This time it's from Spear deep in the right corner. They are now 5 of 6 outside of the arc in the second half. It's 62-56 Raiders. Doumbia all the way to the bucket. Reverse layup, rolls around and in like he did at Detroit Mercy, but back comes Marshall.
Well, you better get in front of him because he's quick off the dribble. Talked about that before.
Mingo into the corner, Spear. Heat check, three-pointer, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Callahan rips it away from the Marshall defender.
Well, that's a nice rebound by Solomon.
Marshall back on the wing. Hubricks, three ball, off the rim, no good. And inside, a foul is called against Marshall on the rebound attempt with 10:03 to play. It's 64-56, Wright State. Fricks will come out of the game. Logan Woods will go to the free throw line. Both teams are in the bonus. That's 17 fouls now on Marshall. Wright State is 7 of 10 at the line tonight. Marshall 9 for 12. Woods, the starter at the line, has 5 and make it 6. He'll get the bonus. Substitution for Marshall. Jacob Gibbs will check in for his twin brother Cade Gibbs. Give Marshall a lot of credit, shooting the ball much better in the second half. Wood's second free throw is good. They're 10 for 19, 5 for 7 on threes. It's a 10-point lead for the Raiders.
When you hit that three ball, it makes a big difference. It keeps you, you get 3 points instead of the 2, which is.
Mingo lob down in low to Anachili Killen. Still with the ball out to Gibbs. Gibbs into the paint. Feeds the ball back outside to Mingo. Mingo off the screen, throws the ball back out. Here's Gibbs for 3, off the rim, and the rebound is hustled by Spear. Spear to Mingo. Mingo off the screen, goes inside with a right-hand layup, no basket. Got a foul on the floor. Stops the clock with 9:34 to play. 66-56, Wright State.
Well, this will keep you in the game if you're Marshall. You're down 10 points, and there's a little less than 10 minutes to go, but you're in the 1-1, and you're only a couple fouls away from the double bonus. So that will keep you in the game. If you can just play some defense, you can get back in this thing real quick because of the foul situation.
So Mingo at the line gets the first. Came into the game at 64%, shooting the ball well from the line here tonight. Mingo now is 3 out of 5. He has 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 11 points. Dezane Mingo. Patient at the line. His second free throw is no good. The tip is up. It's loose underneath and off Jack Doumbia. Tell you, there's a lot of life on that Marshall bench right now. They want to stop that losing streak on the road here tonight. Got to give them a lot of credit.
Well, they certainly have a shot. I mean, I just mentioned the free throw situation. They're going to shoot free throws every time they get fouled, which is a huge advantage.
And coming into the game as a team, they only shoot 69%. Spear behind the back dribble. Underneath, picks up the dribble. Out to Dawson, back to Spear with 12 to shoot. Spear in traffic, floater with a right hand is good. Boy, Spear coming alive. He's got 8. It's 66-59, Wright State. Doumbia back into the offensive end. Doumbia one-on-one against this defender. Pull up mid-range jumper is good. Jack Doumbia now in double digits with 10. And a timeout is called. It's going to be a floating timeout. So we'll take a break, too, from the Nutter Center as Jack Doumbia heating up for the Raiders. 9:07 left in regulation. It's Wright State 68 and Marshall 59.
Any questions?
How did you become the Capital One Bank guy?
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
Aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
And didn't you live in space? What's in your wallet?
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink, designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade, is it in you?
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, proceeds from the lottery have helped keep our state parks serene and majestic. Proceeds have helped fund education, supporting our school systems, and empowering high school graduates with Promise scholarships. Proceeds also provide care for our seniors, enriching lives and communities. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins.
As a kid, I fell in love with basketball. But early in my career, my world began to close in. It It was my first migraine, and it hit hard. I had to dig deep and remember, you don't face challenges alone. By seeking help, I stopped migraine from stopping me. Because true support is knowing someone's got your back. Talk to a doctor about migraine today at PfizerForAll.com.
This is a classic got up too fast from tying your shoes back injury. Not to be confused with the you threw your back out sneezing back injury. Lucky for you, an Amazon One medical provider can help. And if it comes down to needing meds, Amazon Pharmacy will deliver them to your door. Of course, you have to get to the door.
The league and our members make major impact as student athletes lead in a variety of ways on our metropolitan campus communities and championship host cities. This year's HL SAC and 1HL initiatives include student athlete professional development, civic engagement, and community impact. To learn more on the major impact created by our student athletes, visit horizonleague.com/brand recharge.
Yeah, Marshall's shooting the ball a lot better here in the second half. 52% from the field, 62 from three-point range. They've hit 5 threes here in the second half. They only made 2 in the first half. It's kept them in the game. That and the fact that they've drawn fouls on Wright State. Wright State has 18 fouls. Marshall actually has 19 fouls. So both teams have committed a lot of fouls, and both teams have committed a lot of turnovers.
Here's Spear, who has been shooting the ball much better in the second half for Marshall. Now Mingo with it on the switch against Doumbia. Under 9 minutes to play, 68-59 Wright State. Lob inside, nice catch, and a Chili Killen, and he lays it in. Actually dunked it.
Yeah, Wright State went for the steal that time and didn't get it. That's a great pass. Threw it away from the defender. So all he had to do is catch and lay it in.
Callahan to Doumbia. He'll go up and under and lay it up and in. What a smooth move by 23. 70-61 Wright State. Mingo over to Spear. Into the corner, Gibbs, Spear. Gibbs looks inside, takes it with a dribble to the elbow, back out to Mingo. Mingo thought about the three. And a Chili Killen against Logan Woods, just backing in with a bigger body, just pushing him inside with his shoulder.
That's an offensive
and
foul.
An offensive foul.
I think so. I don't know. Yeah, offensive foul.
Both officials call it on the offensive end.
Well,
give Logan Woods credit.
Yeah, if he would have just, after the second or third bump, just made a move, he would have been fine, but he just continued with it.
That's 4 personal fouls on Chili Killen. Coach Jackson pleading his case to the official who made the call, Tony Meeks. He's still in disbelief. Noel makes the catch out at midcourt. He'll flip it over to Woods up the right sideline. Takes it into the offensive end. Raiders shooting 60%, but turnovers hurting them. Jack Doumbia coming alive in the second half. Head and shoulder fake, off balance, throws it up. Almost got it in, but he'll get 2 free throws. And that'll send us to the under 8 timeout. So Doumbia with 2 throws for the Raiders when we come back out of the break. Just under 8 minutes to play in regulation. It's Wright State 70 and Marshall 61.
The guy made a left into the river. Hey, you got that thing?
Yeah, I got that thing.
Throw it in the fridge.
Oh, what's this? You keep dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies from my boy Junior.
No disrespect, but what are we doing here?
Anybody asks, we were at Grandma's.
Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food.
For the love of football, derbies, ultras, and Humba. And every match on ESPN+. For the love of Bundesliga, exclusively on ESPN+.
This is TGL presented by SoFi. 24 of the best players in the world, no, the universe, pitted against each other 3 versus 3. In a first-of-its-kind arena. More Tiger, more Rory, more everybody. Hey, 6 teams, Atlanta, Boston, LA, New York, the Bay, and Jupiter. Not that Jupiter. What else? We added shot clocks, mic'd up players, a ref, playoffs, 15 holes, overtime, timeouts. Did we mention the green moves? High tech, higher stakes, and you get to watch it all on ESPN, baby. Keep up. It's golf.
You ready for the NFL playoffs?
What you got, Chad?
Let's put cameras on every player. Weather and 4D. Hibachi vendors.
What do you want? Shrimp. Okay, right up.
So you guys like my ideas?
No.
NHL on ESPN Plus is back. Enjoy 1,000+ out-of-market games, exclusive matchups, marquee NHL events, and so much more. That's hockey on ESPN Plus.
'60-61, Wright State leading Marshall along with Jim Brown and Justin Kidder. Chris Collins back at the Nutter Center. You know, real quick, Jim, we talked about Marshall. Their football team, believe it or not, their NIL and transfer portal hurt them. Their coaches left. 25 players already in the portal. They have an Independence Bowl game with Army coming up. 2 quarterbacks, the only 2 who are healthy, haven't played much this year. Jeez. That's what the NIL and transfer
it's horrible. Don't get me started on the state of athletics in the United States right now at the college level. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And I don't know when it's going to get straightened out.
No, they've got to do something about that. That's just not fair to the whole community with
Marshall.
It's
not fair to the other players that are still there.
They'll be taking on Army in the Independence Bowl in Shreveport.
And I guarantee you there aren't any Army players in the portal.
No, they're not. Would they say they'd be on desertion?
Yeah, that's right.
So Doumbia hits the first. He's come alive in the second half. He has 12, make it still 12. He missed the second free throw. It's a 10-point Raiders lead. Clock running now with 7:52 to play in regulation. Mingo off the dribble, left open from the elbow. The jumper is good. Boy, Mingo is heating up. He's got 14.
Marshall's just not going to go away. I mean, the trouble is they got to do a little bit more than match baskets. I mean, they're down 10, so you can't just keep trading baskets. Somewhere along the line, you got to make some stops. But they're not going to go away.
Yeah, they're playing with an edge right now. 15 on the shot clock. Doumbia going inside, flips it into the corner. Hubricks back out front. Callahan strong to the basket, goes up, and he's fouled.
That's a great job by Wright State. They're passed up a couple of open shots to get the best thing possible. That's the 10th team foul, so Wright State's going to shoot the double bonus from here on out.
It's 2 shots anyway for Solomon Callahan, playing a lot of minutes here tonight. Over
well, you know,
18.
the difference between him and the other point guard, Keaton Norris, is Solomon is more aggressive offensively. He can, you know, Keaton's pretty much a catch-and-shoot player. He's not going to take you off the dribble very often. He goes off the dribble, he's going to look to pass it rather than shoot it. Where Solomon is a lot more aggressive offensively. He's more physical. He's taller.
And he's learning the position. He's more of a wing in high school.
Yeah, he is. You're right, Chris. But I'll tell you what, he's a redshirt freshman. He's going to be a heck of a player before he leaves here.
Yeah, the coaching staff extremely high on Callahan, the lefty. Puts it in. He'll get one more. 72-63, Raiders by 9. 7:20 to play. Coach Sargent, yes, he said Solomon's really coming around right now. And the second one bounces off the rim and through.
The thing about Solomon is every time you see him, he's got a smile on his face. He's just one happy young man.
Mingo trying to get around Woods. Can't, but he's fouled by Woods.
That's pretty good defense. I mean, he bumped him, but he was moving his feet. Logan was moving his feet, sliding with him. But there was contact.
That's 19 fouls. It's an active shooting foul. He'll get 2 anyway. And Logan Woods picks up the personal. That's his 3rd. Keaton Norris ready to check in. And he does. The officials allow him in, and Woods is out with 7:15 to play. Raiders by 10.
You usually don't see that. You make them shoot the first free throw before you allow a substitution.
So Mingo would go to the free throw line. And tonight he's 3 out of 6. He's got 14 points. And the first is good. Well, they acted like it was the 1-and-1 by the players' reaction on the lane lines.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Well, I guess it was. Yeah, that was only the 9th team foul. Yeah.
Just before the shot. Mingo's second one is rattling around No, and Knoll the rebound, and he had it knocked out of his hands. tell you, Marshall really aggressive on the offensive boards.
Well, they are. They're an aggressive team on defense. I mean, they play hard. And I tell you, they're not going to go away. Wright State's going to have to stick through it. They're going to have to, they're going to have to score.
Norris with the ball out front. Dribble handoff, Hubricks. Short pass over to Callahan. 15 on the shot clock. Callahan dribble handoff to Norris. Back out front, Dumbia. Left side, Hubricks gets a screen from Knoll. Hubricks in the paint, into the corner. Norris, wide open, 3, rattles out. On the rebound, it comes down to Dawson. Raiders by 9. Mingo back out to Dawson. Transition 3 is good. Dawson now with 18. He's 3 for 6 outside of the arc. And the Herd scratching back, down 73-67 with 6.5 minutes to play.
This is like the 3rd time they have cut it to 6.
Can Knoll answer? No, it's short, and an easy rebound for Gibbs. Raiders got to get a stop here. Lob pass inside, tipped away by Dumbia. It's loose and picked up by Norris. Now Norris with it on the wing. Hubricks dribbled it off his foot. It's loose, picked up by Norris. And a battle for the possession, still loose on the floor, still loose, no call, and it comes up to Mingo. Mingo goes inside, blocked by Dumbia. Dumbia will come back with it. Dumbia slowing it down. Raiders are going to reset. Boy, action back to back. Dumbia showing some athleticism. Raiders are up by 6. Now Knoll with it with 5:45 to play. Knoll against Anachili Killen, bouncing in against the big guy. Up and under move with the right hand, rolls around and in.
Yeah, that's the first time they've got the ball into Brandon at the low post. And, I don't know why they've gone away from him, because that was very effective in the first half.
75-67 Wright State.
A big basket for Wright State.
Killen, double teamed in the post. Double team still. And a foul, a reach-in foul called. I think it's going to be on Dumbia.
Yeah. I mean, it'd been fine if he would just stood there with his hands up instead of reaching. When you reach, you run the risk of a foul being called.
And that's something the coaching staff continues to work with, Jack.
Yeah. Well,
it's such quick hands.
It's an aggressive, defensive. You see that ball there, and your brain tells you got 3 fouls, and your hand goes after it, and you get whistled for the foul. I mean, it's.
Anachili Killen's first free throw is good. Marshall coming into this game not shooting real well, under 70% from the line. They are now 11 of 16 from the free throw line. That's their average at 69%. But here in the second half, they're 7 of 10. And the next one, nothing but net. 75-69, 6-point lead, just a 2-possession game for Wright State. Clock running with 5:18 to play. And the Raiders close it out against this third team, showing some edge here in this second half. Callahan looks inside.
Just missed Jack on a backdoor cut.
Dumbia out front. Throws it over to Knoll with 10 to shoot. Knoll off the dribble, takes it inside. Jump stop on the baseline. Hubricks pitches the ball out, threw it away.
Well,
to the backboard.
Wright State passed up a couple shots there they should have taken and didn't. And they paid the price. This is a big possession for Marshall. They've cut it to 6. It's been to 6 a couple times, but I think this is the first time they've had the ball with a 6-point lead, or 6-point deficit.
Marshall with 3 timeouts left. Wright State.
I don't know why it's 20 seconds on the shot clock. It should be 30.
The officials have not noted.
Well, I think sometimes when there's a deflection into the backcourt, I think it just does go to 20 seconds. I think that's the rule.
Gibbs gets it into Anachili Killen. Mingo out to Dawson. Dawson, runner floater with the right hand, got it to go. Boy, Dawson with 20 points. 75-71 Wright State, only by 4 with 4.5 to play.
See, here's the problem for Wright State. They've had control of this game the whole way. Now Marshall's made a run and cut it to 4, and
got to tighten up.
Yeah, Wright State's not been in this situation the whole game. They've been a pretty comfort zone,
and the momentum going Marshall's way. Here's Knoll trying to answer. Jump hook with the right hand is off, and the rebound to Mingo. Back come the Thundering Herd, shooting 58% in the second half. Mingo fakes the 3 off to Spear. Anachili Killen to Spear. Jump stop in the paint. Gets the ball back to Anachili Killen for 3. Got it! And it's a one-point game with under 4 minutes to play.
I told you Marshall was not going to go away, and they've caught some breaks here because they've hit some shots.
And Wright State's going to call a timeout. Stops the clock with 3:47 remaining, and it's going to be converted into a full timeout. The under 4 break. Hang with us. We got a close one from the Nutter Center tonight. The score, Wright State 75 and Marshall 74.
Yes, it can be you that invents the future. Discover what limitless innovation looks like at Wright State University. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University.
At Wright State University, you're never alone. We'll be by your side every step of your journey. Experience what true limitless support feels like. Learn more at wright.edu/now. Go further at Wright State University.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we can ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we can ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Along with Jim Brown and Justin Kinner, Chris Collins back here at the Nutter Center. The Raiders 3-0 at home, and Marshall searching for their first road win of the year in 4 outings have trimmed the lead to 1. Wright State 75 and the Herd 74.
Well, Wright State's had opportunities to kind of, distance themselves in this game, and they just have not been able to do it. And give Marshall all the credit in the world because they've done it. Now, they've hit some shots here in the second half. It's not so much Wright State's defense is let down. It's just Marshall's hit some shots, particularly 3-point shots. And they're not a 3-point shooting team, but boy, in the second half, they've come alive. And this is a tough situation for Wright State because they've led the entire way. They've been very comfortable with the lead, and then all of a sudden now they're in a dogfight.
Callahan with it out front. 18 on the shot clock. Norris looking inside for Hubricks. He gets the ball. Right lane line extended, bouncing in on Spear, turn around with the right hand, off, and he's fouled.
Yeah, they posted him up. That was a play called from the bench. They posted him up, looking to get him down on the block.
That's 5 fouls on Spear. He's out. And Spear, 8 points, most in the second half. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. He's going to have to come out of the game. Substitution. White will come in.
It's good recognition by Wright State to go right at Spear. I mean, I'm sure that was something they talked about in the huddle. Isolate Alex on the block and get the ball to him. And Spear did a good job defending that. He just had to foul him at the end to prevent the shot.
Hubricks makes the first of 2. He's 80% at the line. That's his first attempt tonight. He's now got 7 points, just 2 for 7 from the floor.
And Marshall scored on 6 of their last 7 possessions.
Second one is short. Just a 2-point lead for Wright State. Marshall a chance to take the lead with a 3. Now Mingo with a dribble gets the screen. Taking Callahan inside, off balance shot, rolls in. And we're tied at 76.
Now Marshall's come all the way back. Give them credit. I mean, they've done a really good job. That was a great situation there. They isolated and took him off the dribble. He got a good angle for.
Here's Doumbia taking his man. He slips and goes down with the ball, has it, and he's tied up. And the arrow belongs to Wright State with 14 on the shot clock. There's only 1 timeout left for the Raiders. We're tied at 76 with 3:01 to ring the play.
Yeah, Marshall has 3.
So Wright State will have it underneath their basket with 14 seconds on the shot clock. 3:01 in regulation. Hubricks lobs it into Callahan. Callahan looks for Hubricks. Hubricks against Dawson in the corner. Norris rises up, mid-range jump shot, short rebound. Knoll can't put it back in. And a rebound to Anna Chili Killing.
Yeah, Marshall got a break there because that's a point-blank layup off of a rebound, and Brandon missed it.
They go off the dribble into the corner. Gibbs an advantage on Norris, takes him into the post and puts it in.
Well,
Marshall on top.
He isolated Brandon right away. That was a good move. I'm recognizing that and just taking him right off the dribble.
Marshall leads at 78-76. 2:20 remaining. Raiders involved in a lot of close games this year. Doumbia to the bucket. Missed it, but he's fouled. Both teams are over the double bonus limit, but that's a shooting foul. But Wright State has not shot it well from the line. He's 72% tonight. That's out of Chili Killing, and he just fouled out. He's got 11 points and 6 rebounds.
Here comes Martin back into the game.
Yeah, and he hasn't scored tonight.
No,
score.
He hasn't done. He's 0 for 5 from the field. He has 4 rebounds.
So free throws are big down the stretch. The Raiders are down by 2. 78-76 with 2:18 left to play. They were 9-7 at home last year.
This has been an impressive second half for Marshall to come in here down.
And the first free throw is good.
Down, was it 9 points at halftime? And they got off to a great start at the start of the second half. Just got off to a great start, and they've sustained it the whole half.
It was 11. It was a 37 to 26 point lead for the Raiders at the half. Doumbia, second free throw is good. He ties it up. 78 all with 2:18 left. Marshall with the ball.
Now it boils down to who can get a stop. That's exactly 2 minutes to go. Who can get a stop?
Here's Mingo. Step back. His three-pointer is around the rim. No, and a big rebound for Doumbia.
Don't know about that shot when you're in the double bonus. Why would you shoot a 3 off?
2 minutes to play. Doumbia trying to get around his man. Leans into the shot. Nope, but he's fouled.
That's what you want to do right there. Give Jack credit. I mean, Marshall came down and just, they took the easy way out, not even trying to pass to get it inside. They're in the double bonus, so if they get fouled, they're going to shoot 2 free throws. I don't think you want to be shooting a 3-point shot.
Doumbia with 15 points, 3 for 5 at the line. He also has 7 rebounds. His first one is up and good.
I thought Doumbia did the right thing. You're in a tough game. 2 minutes to go. You're in the double bonus. So if you get to the line, you're going to shoot 2 free throws.
He's our player to watch tonight. He's come alive in the second half. Got into foul trouble early in the first half. And the second free throw, missed it, but the tip by Knoll, loose on the floor. Got a battle for possession. And someone was on the line. It was Logan Woods. So the ball belongs to Marshall.
I'm taking Martin out.
They're going to go smaller. And it's going to be Gibbs into the game.
Well, they don't.
Cade Gibbs.
Yeah, they don't post up anybody anyway. They're going to call timeout.
Timeout called by Coach Jackson, right in front of his own bench. 1:50 to play. It's 79-78 Wright State, who had an 11-point lead at the half.
Well, like I said, you got to give Marshall a ton of credit. I mean, because they have. You knew they were not going to go away. You just knew they were not going to go, and they started hitting shots. That's where it started. Their 3-point shots started to fall for them, and Wright State couldn't answer them. So now, and this is a dangerous thing for Wright State because they've led this entire game kind of comfortably. I mean, most of the game a double-digit lead, and then all of a sudden it got to 6 and to 4 and to 2, and finally Marshall got the lead. So, Wright State's had a. In their mind, they've controlled the game. Well, not anymore. It's a 1-point game with 2 minutes to go.
The Raiders have only attempted 7 3-point shots in the second half and connected on 2. They are 12 of 16 from the line in the second half. But like you said, Marshall hitting the 3 ball. They're 9 for 23 overall, but in the second half, 7 of 11, 64%.
Well, and it's loosened some things up, so they've been able to dribble drive to the basket and connect on some shots inside. Marshall's played very, very well offensively in the second half. Defensively, so-so, but offensively, they've been really good in the second half.
All right, so Hubricks, Knoll, Doumbia, Woods, and Callahan on the floor for Wright State.
Well, it's a good defensive lineup. You've got Callahan in there, who's a little bit more physical at the point guard position. Woods is a really good defender. Hubricks is a good defender, and Doumbia is. So they've got their best defensive lineup in the game right now.
Here's Mingo with it out front against Callahan, looking for the screen. Mingo with the dribble now, works against Knoll. Out front to Dawson.
Yeah, they got the switch.
Half.
Now they're posting up inside.
Now White takes it into the paint. Throws it back out to Dawson. Open for three. No good on the rebound by Knoll.
That's great defense by Wright State there. I mean, they got the switch. Marshall got the switch that they wanted, but Wright State defended it really. Oh, my goodness.
Another pass, but corralled by Doumbia in the corner. 18 to shoot. Doumbia, crossover dribble, takes his man inside, off balance, lays it up and in. Jack Doumbia taking control of the second half. He's got 18. The Raiders up by 3 with 1:12 to play. Mingo on the wing. Dawson throws it inside to Gibbs against the smaller Callahan with a left hand. Nope. Late whistle.
I don't know about that. Yeah. That's a tough call.
Foul's on Callahan. Stops the clock with 64 seconds left. Okay, a chance to see it, Jim.
That's just a tough call. I don't think he fouled him. I mean, I really don't. I mean, he went straight up. There was some bumping going on, but that's not what caused the foul. It was when he shot it and misses when the whistle blew.
Cade Gibbs at the line. The first one is missed. He's got 10 points off the bench tonight.
Well, they need this free throw, that's for sure. Keep it a 2-point game.
It's 3 right now. And they've been offensive rebounding tonight. The second one is good. 81-79, Wright State. Full court man pressure. Hubricks gets it into Doumbia. We have exactly 1 minute left. Big possessions down the stretch for Wright State. They have 1 timeout left. The arrow belongs to Marshall. Both teams on the double bonus. Hubricks out front with 15 on the shot clock. Hubricks dribbling against Gibbs.
There's fouls right there.
Hubricks getting a screen. Hubricks step back. His 3.
Yes! Wow, what a basket.
His third 3 of the night. The Raiders up 84-79. White with it on the wing. Out to Mingo. Mingo trying to answer. He goes back to White. 32 seconds remaining. Now Gibbs double team. Feeds it over to Mingo. And a timeout call by Coach Jackson.
I'll tell you what,
29 seconds left.
Chris, that's what big players do. Is they step up. That was it took some guts to shoot that thing because he hasn't made a 3 in the second half. He was open. They were late on the screen. They didn't get out there. They went behind the screen, and Alex took advantage of it.
You know, Jim, been in a lot of the practices this year, and they work on this.
Oh, absolutely.
That last play, with, under a minute to go.
But it took
it's Alex.
It took some cojones to take that shot. I'm telling you, because you miss it, you're giving Marshall the ball with a 2-point lead. So you want to get something. I've said before, you want to get something going to the basket where you're going to shoot free throws, and that wasn't that, but it went in. So it was a big basket for Wright State.
You know, when the Raiders in 3 games this year lost by a total of 6 points, looking for ways to win, and that's something Coach Sargent and his staff have talked about. You got to make big plays.
Well, they've had the other team. Look at the Bradley game. The guy threw one up almost. I mean, great defense. So it was a tie game. Great defense. And the guy was falling down, threw it up, and banked it in. And Wright State ended up losing that game.
So Marshall inbound on the left sideline to Mingo. 25 seconds remain. 84-79 Wright State. Dawson, 2-point jump shot, misses it, and the rebound tipped out. It goes out of bounds, and it belongs to Wright State. 19.5 seconds left. The Raiders up by 5. I would assume Marshall is going to go ahead and foul here.
Well, you just want to make sure you take care of the ball here if you're Wright State. You don't want to...
Norris is in for Callahan. Raiders looking for their second straight win.
Look at this, yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
2 minutes.
I was watching a game last night.
Yeah.
Jay Billis, bless his heart, it was from Madison Square Garden, and it was late in the game. They were having these going to the monitor thing, and Jay was talking about for 38 minutes. For 38 minutes, that would have been Michigan's ball out of bounds. You wouldn't have gone. And now 2 minutes to go, you got to go look at the monitor. I agree with him. I think it's ridiculous. I've also heard him say every time there's a review, you go to a commercial timeout.
Well, remember the Raiders up in Oakland last week? There were 2 of those calls where Wright State, the official said had the ball, but they reversed it on the replay.
Yeah.
I'm
not a. See, here's what I think Jay Billis's point was: give the coaches 2 challenges per half or 2 challenges per game. So if Marshall wants to challenge that right there, they can challenge it. But to go to now this hasn't been that long.
It's Wright State.
Yeah, this hasn't been that long but some of these things last for a couple of minutes in key portions of the game where it drives me nuts.
And you can also say it's like a free timeout for the teams.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And Woods will inbound.
We just need, right? They just got to get the ball in bounds here. That's one of the toughest things to do late in the game is to get the ball in. It sounds simple.
They got it into Hubricks. 80% free throw shooter. 15 seconds left. Hubricks gets it into the offensive end. They're reaching, and a foul's called on Gibbs. 12.3 left. 84-79 Raiders, and Hubricks, who hit the big three a moment ago, back to the line. He's got 10 points tonight.
Well, Alex, you know, in that case there, you don't want to dribble to the sideline. Now, he didn't have much choice. They were forcing him there. You go to the sideline, you got that sideline. That's a great defender because that defender is not going to move.
Hubrick's first free throw is good.
So you got to be careful about doing that. Ideally, you want to stay in the center of the court where you have some options.
Alex now 2 for 3 at the line, and the second one is also good.
Tell you what, this is a big-time, gut-wrenching performance by Wright State to lose the lead.
White for 3, misses it. The rebound tipped around loose and picked up by Doumbia. Doumbia has it with 3 seconds left. He'll take it all the way in for the stunk. And that's how the Raiders finish this one. Doumbia with 18 here tonight, and the Raiders with 4 in double figures. Coach Sargent, his team has won 2 in a row now. They improve to 7-5 on the season. Marshall still winless on the road as they drop this tough one here tonight. But hey, you got to give them credit for their fight in the second half.
You got to give Marshall all the credit in the world. I mean, I kept saying they weren't going to go away, but what happened was they started making some shots. They're a good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games and give their team credit. I mean, they just stuck with it and stuck with it and stuck with it. It wasn't anything Wright State did that allowed them back in the game. They got back in the game because they started making shots.
Final score, Wright State 88, Marshall 79. For the Raiders, they had 4 in double figures, led by Brandon Knoll with 21, 18 for Doumbia, 12 for Hubricks, 11 for Carter. You look at the other side of the ledger, Marshall led by Dawson with 20, 11 for and Chili Killen, 17 for Mingo, and Gibbs with 11 off the bench. So for Jim Brown and Justin Kinner, Chris Collins, we say so long from Wright State University's Nutter Center on the campus of Wright State University. Final score, the Raiders 88 and the Herd 79. All games airing on the ESPN network, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.